Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome. It's Saturday, December 1st. Not many shopping days left till Christmas. Today, we're going to talk about how to build our business using social media in general and Facebook in particular. There's a lot of questions that were raised. Well, do I use a profile page? Do I use a fan page? I see these groups, but they tell me I can't post in the groups. What am I supposed to do, etc.? So that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about. Now, first off, let me tell you, we're doing the screen share now, and let me tell you that we started this webinar and I forgot to start the recording. So what you're seeing right now is actually being recorded a few hours later than the actual webinar. But the good news is we didn't get past the beginning of the first slide. So the title for today is How to Get More Prospects and Sales Using Facebook Groups. But that's not the real title. The real title is How to Get More Prospects and Sales Using Facebook and social media. Now, we're going to look at groups, but we're going to look at a lot of other topics too. We're going to look at profile page versus fan page. We're going to look at when to post, what to post, how to post. We're going to look at how to get interaction on Facebook and a lot of other topics. Each one of these topics could be a webinar by itself. So we clearly can't dive deep into each one of them in one webinar. We can only skim the surface. So at the end of the webinar, stay with me to the end. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you an option to join up with me in a small, intimate, private coaching group in which we will take each one of the topics and dig deeper. So that'll come at the end. Now, many people need a mindset shift. If you want to know how to sell on Facebook or on social media in general, the answer is you don't. Now that may come as a shock. You go, oh my God, what does he mean? I see all these people putting up their links and putting up pictures of their products and blah, blah, blah. They're not selling anything. They're putting up links, yes. They're putting up pictures of their products, yes. But they're not making any money. The vast majority of people are not making a penny doing what they're doing. And the reason is they're doing it all wrong. You don't sell on social media. But let me ask you a question. When was the last time you got out of bed and said, dear, we're almost out of shampoo. Let me go to Facebook and find shampoo to buy. You don't. You don't. It's that simple. You don't sell on Facebook. You socialize. So let's start digging into what we actually do. We are recording. Thank you. All right. So we need a little bit of a mindset shift. The reality is that, you're welcome. All right. The reality is that you don't sell on social media. And we're going to talk about what that really means and how do you build a business using social media if you don't sell, and what's going on with all these people that are putting up their links and pictures of their products and et cetera. But look, here's the reality. Mostly we're talking about network marketing, but what I'm going to talk about tonight is really applicable to any business. It doesn't have to be an MLM or a network marketing company. You could be running your own art studio or yoga shop or whatever you're doing. The way you build a business is you talk to people. I mean, look, if you have a hot dog stand on the corner of 5th and Main, you can't sell hot dogs if you don't have people coming in your store, right? It's a people business. And the reality is you got to treat social media like it's a big party. Now, let me ask you, friend. Let me ask you a question about, let's be friends. If I invite you to come to my house for a party and meet some people, would you walk in the front door with a megaphone and start yelling, here I am, I got the best deal on the planet, buy my deal? What would I do to you? I'd show you the front door. I'd usher you back out. And you know what? If you do that on social media, they're going to usher you back out too. It's very easy to get put in Facebook jail. I tell you how to do that all day long. We've got some people on this webinar that know how to do that. Many of us who use Facebook have been in Facebook jail at one point or another for some of the things that we've done. But you don't want to do that on social media either. You don't want to be blasting your links and putting up pictures of your products, et cetera. So then the question is, well, what do you want to do? And we're going to talk about that. That's where we're going. But look, here's the nature of social media in general and Facebook in particular. Nobody comes to Facebook to shop. Nobody. When was the last time you got out of bed and said, let me get on Facebook and go look for something to buy today? I'm going to buy shampoo today. I'll get on Facebook. No. People come to socialize. They come to meet and greet. They come to show off pictures of their children or their grandchildren. They come to brag about where they went on vacation. They come to commiserate, to whine, to cry, to complain, to ask for advice, to get educated. But they don't come to shop. If they want to buy shampoo, they go to Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or eBay or wherever. Those are shopping sites. Facebook isn't. And you can't really expect to sell very much on Facebook if you're trying to sell, if you're shoving products at people. Furthermore, Facebook is like a protective mother. Facebook rigorously protects the user experience. If you're doing things that Facebook doesn't like and that are in violation of Facebook's rules, policies, and procedures, you're out of there. They'll put you in jail. And some of us know it well. And intrinsically, Facebook dislikes multi-level marketing, network marketing, and home-based business in general. And the reason it dislikes it is because of some of the things that I'm talking about right now. There are way too many people out there on Facebook hawking their wares, acting like used car salesmen, trying to shove snake oil down the throats of the Facebook users, and Facebook really dislikes it. Furthermore, the newsfeed is full. Now, just imagine the following. Imagine you can have up to 5,000 friends, but let's not go that far. Let's assume you have 1,000 friends. And let's assume that every one of your friends posts 5 times a day. That's 5,000 posts. Do you think Facebook can feed you 5,000 posts in a day? Do you think you can absorb them? The answer is obviously no. So how does this really work? There's a thing called the Facebook algorithm, and we're not going to go deep into that tonight. We can't. We don't have time. But there's the thing called the Facebook algorithm. They decide which posts of yours they're going to show and who they're going to show it to. So I see people put a post up on Facebook that says something like, well, gee, this should be a really short post. Any of my friends who see this, please comment. And most of you won't because you never comment on my post. Well, that's because most of your friends never see your posts. At most, Facebook puts your posts up in front of a few percent. And I've heard varying numbers. I don't know what the current number du jour is, but it's a few percent. It's not big. It's not 10. It may be 5, maybe 7. I don't know. But the reality is they can't put every post you post in front of every one of your friends. They can't do it. There's no room in the newsfeed for that. So we can talk about how often you should post, and the current sort of answer du jour of how often you should post is a couple of good quality posts a day. You know, we used to say 3 to 5 a day. Most of the people I know that are working Facebook have throttled that back and are saying, you know, maybe 2 or 3 a day. The other thing to understand is that Facebook really measures the user experience. So if you see a post from a friend of yours, if you do nothing, if you don't give it a like, or don't give it a heart, or don't give it a comment, Facebook actually sees that as a negative. It means to them that that post wasn't worthy of you taking the time to be bothered to interact with it. And so they're going to show you less posts from that person. So how do you get your posts in front of the people you want them in front of? Social media is social. You go be social. You go to their pages and you interact with their posts the same way you want them to come to your page and interact with your posts. And so if you go to your friend's page and you comment on their post and give it a like and give it a heart, or these little emojis, etc., then Facebook sees that as, oh, you like their stuff, so you must want to see more of their stuff. We'll feed more of their stuff to you. So the way you get people to see your stuff is you interact with the people. Social media is social. And you got to make every piece of content count because the news feed's full. And if Facebook doesn't like what you're posting, they're not going to bother to show it to very many people. Pure and simple. Now, I hope I'm not going too fast. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is that some of you might be sitting there saying, well, gee, I need to make some money. I've got to make my house payment. I've had people go through this with me. Look, here's the reality. building a business, and I don't care if it's a McDonald's on the corner of 5th and Main or a hot dog stand or a pizza shop or an MLM, takes time. It takes time to build a business. 3 to 7 years. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So what I tell people, and you know what, there are trainers out there in network marketing that would take me out to the behind the building here and they would flail me alive for this. But what I tell people is, if you're really in a difficult situation cash flow wise, where you've got to have some consistent cash flow over the next several months to pay your bills, make your mortgage, you might want to consider getting a job and working your business part-time. This business is designed to be built part-time. It's not designed to be built full-time, because in the beginning, it's going to be touch and go, up and down, a little here, some there, a sale there, a person there. Then they're going to drop out. Then they're going to go see greener grass. They're going to move on. It's really hard. It takes time to get consistent cash flow. There are exceptions, but very few people get consistent cash flow early in the beginning of the game, and very few people build the first MLM they're in. And the reason for that is because they come in with a misguided set of expectations. So they come into their new network marketing company with the idea that they're going to make a lot of money, they're going to make it quick, and this is going to be really easy to do. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And at the end of a few months, they find out, A, they didn't make a whole lot of money. It's up and down. They got some, they don't got some. Their friends are unfriending them. Their mother doesn't want to talk to them. Their twin sister won't invite them to Thanksgiving dinner. And that's a true story, by the way. And so they look around and they say, well, Joe over there, Joe's making money. I'll go over to Joe's deal. So they quit the MLM they're in and they go over to Joe's MLM. And they find out the same thing's true over there. And after they've gone through 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 or 7 different experiences, they finally figure out that they were the problem. It wasn't the MLM. Now, you laughing, Katie? What are you laughing about? Be careful, I might unmute you. Hey, so listen, here's the deal. You want to know how to be successful in this business? First, let me tell you Eric Worre. You know who Eric Worre is? If you don't, you ought to. He's probably the most famous trainer in network marketing. If you read his book, Go Pro, he'll tell you that you plan to spend your first year learning the business. At the end of 1 year, if you work earnestly and hard, you'll become competent and you'll be earning some money. Notice he didn't say at the end of 1 month. He said at the end of 1 year. With 3 years of consistent effort part-time, you might be able to go full-time after 3 years of consistent part-time effort. And this is the part where people fail to do the work. They give up. They think they're not getting where they're going. 5 years of consistent effort to get to 6 figures, 7 years to become world-class. That's Eric Worre's. Based on his many years and many hundreds of thousands of people in the business, that's what he tells you to expect. There's also an incredibly good book called Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. And if you don't have it, I strongly recommend you get a copy of it. Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. So, the really good news, anybody can do it. Well, almost anybody. It takes patience, perseverance, fortitude, commitment, determination, true grit. But where else can you go and join an organization for such little investment up front that offers the possibility of becoming a millionaire in a few years? You know, the average cost of a franchise in the United States is over $35,000, and the McDonald's will cost you well over $1 million. And there's no guarantee you'll ever make a penny. So network marketing is a really incredible opportunity for people that are willing to do the work. The secret to success is don't quit. Be here in a year. The most important thing you can do for yourself is be here in 1 year. Don't quit. Many people quit before the magic happens. Okay, let's take on the question of fan pages versus personal profiles. And by the way, we're going to go live out to Facebook in a little bit, and we're going to look at some of this stuff. Very few people can start with a fan page. Very few. It takes time and money to develop a fan page. You got to be willing to spend between $5 and $10 a day to build a fan base in advertising. Here's the reality. Facebook is a publicly traded company. Facebook is in business to make money. And the way they make money is they sell advertising. And the way you build a fan base is you advertise. So most people don't have the money to come in and start spending $5 to $10 a day in advertising costs, for example, to build up a fan base. Furthermore, it takes time. Now, there are courses out there that'll tell you can get 1,000 fans in a month or a week, and et cetera, and you can. But you got to be willing to throw the money at it. It's hard to do it without throwing money at it. So most mere mortals start with a profile. And then you say, well, I understand that the Facebook rules say you don't do business on your profile. That's right. You don't do business on your profile. You really don't do business on your fan page either, but you don't do business on your profile. So what do? You make friends. Well, what about the friends I already have? We'll talk about them in a minute. You make new friends. You make new friends and you build your credibility through posting valuable content. That's the beginnings of how you build a business. Now, what about your existing friends? Why does everybody end up in the no friends left club? Very simply, your existing friends already know you. They know you don't have any experience in this business. They know you've never built a business before. So when you approach them with the idea that you're all going to build a business together, when they get off the floor and quit laughing, they basically tell you to come back and talk with them when you build a business and can show them that you know how to do this. Furthermore, many of them have these notions that it's a pyramid scheme, it's illegal, it's this, it's that, the other. But we can talk about how to deflect all those kinds of opinions, but we don't have time to do it today. One person that I would recommend you to is Lisa Kidder, and she's got a course on prospecting with posture. Lisa's an incredible trainer. Lisa Kidder, Kitter, and prospecting with posture. You could look that up. It's a great course. But you usually have to start with people that don't quite know as much about you as your close friends and relatives, and begin to build your reputation as someone who's valuable in the marketplace. And that means posting valuable content. And we said a couple times a day. We could argue whether it's twice a day or 3 times a day, and et cetera. I mean, much of this is subjective and debatable. There may be people on this webinar today, and there are people on here, by the way, that are very experienced, and they may disagree with some of what I'm saying, and that's okay too. That's all right. We all have a right to debate with each other about what the best policies are. So let's talk about groups. There's 2 major classes of groups: Spamfest groups and legitimate groups. What are these groups, and how do we use them? So first off, Spamfest groups, and we'll go out and we'll look at a couple of examples in a few minutes. Spamfest groups are groups where you are permitted to put up your links, and you can put your products up, and you can put up ads that say buy me, etc. I've got the best bread since Adam and Eve, whatever. Problem with the Spamfest groups, for the most part, is everyone's hollering, no one's listening. I mean, do you think somebody gets out of bed in the morning and thinks, oh, I think I'll go out to the spam groups, and I'll find my next business opportunity? Or, you know what, I need shampoo. I'm going to go to the spam groups and see who's got shampoo today. They don't do that. No one's buying. But, and here's the but, Facebook notifications puts your name in front of everyone who is a friend in those groups when you post. We'll look at that and what that means. So posting in those groups can help you develop brand name recognition. You are the brand. Now, this is critically important. I don't care what the name of your company is. Call it the XYZ MLM company. The XYZ MLM company is not your brand. You don't own the company. You're not a partner in the company. You are an independent distributor in that company. Your brand is you. Y-O-U. It is not your company's name, products, or services. And this is critical to understand. If you only get one thing out of what I've said today, that's probably the most important thing I've said, other than be here in a year. You are the brand. You've got to get your name in front of people that are potential customers. So, in posting in spam groups, my personal recommendation, and this is a debatable one, but I can tell you that there are people on this webinar who will attest to what I'm about to tell you. If you've never posted in groups before, start off with no more than 10 in the beginning. If you go to 11 on the first day, you post in groups, you might find yourself in Facebook jail. Here's the thing you need to understand about Facebook. They know every move you make. Every move you make. Oh, it's all on computers. It's creepy to think that they know so much about you. It's all on computers. But they watch your normal performance on a daily basis. They know what you do. So if you go off and do something today that's really weird, really out of the ordinary, that raises a flag that goes, they're doing something really weird. We better stop them and see what they're up to. It's like, you've got kids and they're usually making a lot of noise, but right now they're down at the end of the hall and they're really quiet. And you go, that's unusual behavior. I wonder what they're doing. I better go check. Facebook watches your normal behavior. So if you're going to change your behavior, you got to sort of ease into it slowly. Okay, legitimate groups. Party time. Find groups of people who do things you're interested in that say, don't post your links in my group. It's okay. Go meet and greet people. Do the same thing you would do if you came to a party at my house. Come in the front door, look around and see people you know, say hi to them, and then look around and see people you don't know and go over and say, hi, we've never met. My name's Joe. You live around here? Talk to them. Talk to them, get to know them. Invite them into your world and chat them up and get to know them. Now, I'm not going to cover scripts tonight. We don't have time to cover scripts. I'm just going to give you one script, sort of a magic question. If you have one script that you want to just sort of remember, and I'm going to explain the psychology in this one. By the way, the wording of this came from a recently from Jelena Ostrowski. If you don't know who Jelena is, you ought to. She's an incredibly good trainer in this field. And she's very, very knowledgeable about using Facebook. Once you've talked to somebody, did you hear what I said? Once you've talked to somebody and you know something about them, right? They got kids in college, they're struggling to pay the bills, they want to go on vacation next year, they have stomach problems, they don't like their shampoo, whatever it is. Based on what you've told me, I have something that just might interest you. Notice, based on what you told me, it's about them, it's not about you. It's about them. Based on what you told me, I have something that just might interest you. Are you open to taking a look? Are you open? Not are you willing? Are you open? Most people are going to say, yeah, I'm open. Most people won't say I'm not open. It's sort of a negative to not be open. So people are going to say, yeah, I'm open. And a very subtle takeaway, general takeaway, if not, no biggie. And you're telling them at the end of this takeaway that, hey, if you don't want to take a look, it's okay. We're still going to be friends. It's non-threatening. It's got a subtle takeaway, and you get to keep the friend. Based on what you told me, I have something that just might interest you. Are you open to taking a look? If not, it's okay. No big deal. So you don't put them in a awkward position where they feel like you're being a snake oil salesman. You're offering to solve a problem that you know that they have because they already told you they have it. And when they say no, thank them for their time. Ask them if it's okay to check back in the future and see how they're doing. And I recommend strongly you use a customer resource manager to keep track of people. And customer resource managers are not yellow sticky notes on the screen of your computer. And then check back periodically. Many times, no simply means not now. And it's been said that you need up to 14 exposures with somebody to get a yes from them. It used to be 3 to 5 exposures, then it became 7, and then it became 12, and now the last time I heard a number was 14. People, this is by scientific measurement, people have the attention span of a goldfish these days. Don't laugh, it's the truth. And their attention span is approximately 7 seconds. So when you say, are you open to taking a look? It's no, I don't have time now. I got to go this. Okay, fine, I'll check back with you in the future. And sometime in the future, you check back with them. And after a while, someday, they pick up the phone and they say, hey, remember that thing you told me about, blah, blah, blah. This is where your customer resource manager comes in. Because now you look them up, you say, oh, yeah, I remember what I told you. You had a kid in college and blah, blah, blah. You know, what can I do for you? Okay? You got to do it. It's the way it works. If you don't want to do the work, it's okay. Now, let's talk about your profile page. Again, what I'm about to do in one slide here, we can take a whole webinar to do the profile page, but we're only going to do a few highlights. Your profile picture has got to be a picture of you, not your family, your kids, your pets, your hobby, unless your hobby is like riding a bike and it's a picture of you on your bike. A picture of you. We're building you Inc., not your dog Inc., not your cat Inc., you. Your cover photo, and your picture of you can be taken with your cell phone. Cell phone's perfectly adequate. Take a good picture of you. Frontal picture. Frontal, dressed. Frontal, face, picture. I want to be able to recognize your face. When I come to your profile, I'm not coming to find out what shampoo you used this morning. I'm coming to find out who you are. Cover photo reflecting your lifestyle or what's important to you. And we can talk a lot about what a cover photo should look like. We're not going to go into it today. I can also teach you how to build a cover photo if you don't know how. We can use like Canva.com, which is a free source, Canva.com. So it's a free program. You can build your cover photos with it. But your cover photo wants to reflect you, and I do recommend, and there are some people that would disagree with me, but it's okay. Not everybody has to agree with me. I do recommend that your cover photo not reflect religion or politics. I mean, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you know, that's not what's material here. But if your cover photo reflects a political bias, there are going to be people, like 50% of the population, that are going to not like you. So I agree, Katie, I agree. All right, Katie. Yeah. Your intro. You got about 100 characters to put in an intro. Make it succinct, make it important. Tell me something important about you. I came to your profile page because I want to figure out who you are. Okay? There's a place for pictures. You can have up to 9 featured photos. What's important to you? And of course, your posts are valuable content. We're not going to go into that today. Your follow button needs to be turned on, and I'll show you where to do that. It's under timeline settings. Your profile needs to be public, and I've seen people saying, well, I don't want my profile to be public. I've got kids, blah, blah, blah. I don't want my friends to know what I'm doing. But look, there's only 3 possibilities. 1 is your profile is public. 2 is you're not in business. And 3 is you have 2 different profiles, one that's public and one that isn't. And I don't strongly recommend that, by the way. And I don't know if Facebook is even willing to let that happen. They didn't used to like it. Yeah, let's stay away from Chris, yes, Chris, thank you. Yeah, politics and religion, not good. So your profile needs to be public. Now, if you don't want the world to know about your kids, it's fine. Don't put pictures of your kids up on your profile in your picture or anything, but you can still put posts about your kids, and you can use Facebook lists to make sure those posts are only shown to close family and friends. There is a way to use a feature in Facebook called lists, where you can make a list of just close family, and then you can put up a post about your kids and send it to only close family. So there's a way to work with your profile that keeps you from putting your kids out there in public if you don't want to do that. And then again, that's a subject of another training. Okay, and hey, if you're in business, you got to have your phone number and your email address. You want to tell people how to get in touch with you. If you don't want to put up your phone number and your email address, I mean, look, if you open a pizza shop on the corner of 5th and Main, you're going to hang out a sign, you're going to let people know where you're at, you're going to let your friends know what you're doing, and et cetera, et cetera. So why be any different on Facebook? There are ways to work with Facebook and make it work for you. That's all I'm saying to you. Okay, let's move on. I don't know how much time I don't know how long I've been chattering, but friend requests. We're going to talk a little bit about friend requests. Generally, you do not send friend requests. Generally. Now, there are exceptions. I didn't say never send a friend request. I see. Let me check. I see something more in the chat. Keep going. Haha, Katie, keep going. 34 minutes. Have I spent 34 minutes or have I got 34 minutes left to go to the hour, Katie? Anyhow, I can't see my clock from here. Okay, here's the deal. First off, just because you see some guy named Tom out there that looks like a nice guy, you shoot him a friend request. Tom doesn't know who you are. He may or may not respond to the friend request. And if you get too many friend requests out there that are unanswered, that's a negative in Facebook's eyes. You're sending friend requests to people that aren't your friend. So you get to know people first. And when you do send a friend request, you send people a message that says, hey, I sent you a friend request. This is the reason why. The better thing to do is to use your follow feature and follow people and tell people. What I like to do personally is I follow people. Okay, what I like to do personally is I follow somebody, I send them a message that I followed them, and I ask them if they're interested in following me back, that I would be happy to accept a friend request from them. I just let them know that they can send me a friend request, I'll accept it. And then we'll talk about how to handle friend requests. So let's move on. So don't get out there and start sending off friend requests. That's just the wrong way to do it. Okay, let's go live. We're going to look at our profile picture. We're going to look at groups. We're going to look at spam groups, legitimate groups. We're going to look at following people. We'll look at your news feed. We'll look at handling friend requests. And we'll try to squeeze all that into the next 25 minutes or so. And before I go, you know what, I'm going to do something. I'm going to jump ahead and then come back. And I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to ask you, before we go live onto Facebook, are you getting value so far today? And if you are, would you like to dig deeper into some of these topics? And what do we got here? A lot of value. Thanks, Katie. Thank you, Katie. Okay, and here's what I'm going to offer, and then I'll come back to the end. And the reason I want to offer it is I really want to put this in front of you and give you the option of deciding yes or no. And I don't want to feel like I'm holding you on all Saturday afternoon if you have things to do and you plan to be here an hour but no more, because I think we're going to run over. I don't want to just keep rushing fast. So here's the deal. I'm starting a private coaching program. I call it the Healthy, Wealthy, and Active Aging Society. And the reason for that is that one of my passions is to help people live longer with health and with wealth. Look, the human genome is intrinsically capable of 120 years. When if I say, do you want to live to be 120, most of you are going to shudder and go, no. And the reason is you have a picture of being unhealthy. And if you live much past your mid-60s, early 70s, you have an issue of how do you fund this. We have over 70,000 people that are over 100 years old in the United States today, and that number is expected to go up dramatically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a weekly coaching program that's primarily focused on building your business right now. We're going to go into all of these topics in more depth with a new topic every week, with a private Facebook group, with access to advanced marketing strategies. I'm going to do something that's pretty unique in the industry, and that is I'm going to offer one-on-one coaching, no additional charge if you're in the group and you need one-on-one coaching, I'll help you. Because a lot of times we do things like I'm about to show you, and thanks, Maggie, and we do things like I'm about to show you in the groups, and you go, well, what group should I go into? You want some help. You want somebody to hold your hand a little bit. We'll do a weekly Q&A. And I promise you, this is from where you are right now, wherever it is, this is one of the shortest paths to get from where you are to where you want to go. And all trainings will be recorded and they will be archived. You will own them for the rest of your life or my life, whichever comes first. They'll be out there. They'll be archived in our private Facebook group. And I think it's a steal because I'm only going to ask for $25 a month from you folks that are here today. And the reason for that is because I think it's worth a lot more than that. I initially thought I was going to put it out there at 49, or I even thought about 97. And then I thought, no, I'm going to make it really affordable for the people that are here in the beginning and help me get this started. But I promise you that's an early adopter price. It will go up. Once people understand the value that I'm going to pour into this group, it will go up. So here's a link, lenmooney.com, Wealthy Aging. And we are also going to look at health topics in this group as well, because it doesn't do us any good to build a business and then give all the money to the doctors. Let's fix our health issues too. So we're going to do both, wealth, health, and active aging. Maybe we'll bring in some yoga. As time goes on, we'll do a lot of things. In the beginning, I'm going to do next couple of weeks, few weeks. I know Christmas is coming, so this isn't really the next couple of weeks, but we're going to do things like, we're going to go back to timeline settings, go through them, go to posting, how often, when, where, etc., content creation. Where do you find content? How do you do it? We're going to look at groups in depth, we're going to do some planning for 2019. We're going to look at how do you start a fan page. We're going to look at Facebook Lives. We'll give you a challenge, etc. So these are some of the things we're going to do. So having said all that, I just want you to know that if you have to leave early today, those are some of the things we're going to do in this new group. And I know what I'm going to put into it. So I know there's going to be a lot of value for you. So, all right, Chris, 600 years. All right, buddy. Hey, listen, let's come off the screen share. No, let me get rid of the PowerPoint. End PowerPoint. And get rid of that, and let's go live to Facebook. No, let's go live to Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to use my personal profile as an example. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, but I'm going to tell you it has most of the key elements that are important. I will challenge you to go look at the personal profile pages of any of the leaders in network marketing, and for that matter, in most business. Go look at Ray Higdon. Go look at Gary Vaynerchuk. Go look at Katie Stage. She's on here today. She's a beautiful page. Chris Schultz. I'm beginning to pull a blank on names. So many names of people. Just go look at their profile pages. You're going to see that people that are in this business, don't have pictures of their products. You don't see a product on my page ever, anywhere. You can't tell what MLM I'm with. If you can figure out what MLM I'm with from my profile page, I'm doing it wrong. Picture of me, not my cat, my dog, my kids, me, frontal, face, looking at us. Hi, friendly, I'm here. I want to help you. Profile, cover picture, that in this case, it was me giving a talk on stage at an event in September with my company, and the one I had before that was an outdoors picture, and we can talk about what the right kind of cover photo is. Social media links, okay? Your intro, short, sweet, to the point. If I give you 101 characters, I think it is, it's about that. What do you want to tell? What do you want me to learn about you? What's important? And it's not that I'm a network marketer. It's not that, or anything like that, because I'm really not. Network marketing is just one thing that I do. I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of other things. But the thing that's important to me is I'm an outdoor adventuresome single guy. I love life. And here's how you can hook up with me. There's my 800 number. There's my website. And then other things. These are my fan pages that I have. So those are all there. And there's a lot of other things that we can talk about on this. The only other thing I want to point out to you is the one thing that's very hard for most people to find is the friggin' follow button. Facebook has managed to hide that away cleverly. So right here, you see those three little dots, dot, 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 which usually means more, timeline settings. So here's where you find your timeline settings. And one of the first things we're going to do in the new coaching program is we're going to go over all of your timeline settings. But today, I'm only going to take you to one, and that's public posts right there. Click on that. Who can follow me? It ought to be set for public. That's what you want. Okay? So timeline settings, public posts. Now, if you have a Facebook profile, I strongly recommend that you go look at your general settings, your security, your privacy, your timeline and tagging. etc. And we will go through some of the stuff together. Okay? So that's that. Let me come back. Let's talk about groups. First thing, does everybody know what that bar is up there? That's the Facebook search bar. And I find, amazingly enough, that a lot of people don't know that it's there or what it does. But let me point something out to you. I don't care what you're interested in. You can search for it right there. So, for example, I like snow skiing. So I'm going to just put snow skiing in and click on it. And look, I'm going to get, well, I get pages. We'll talk about pages in a minute. I get groups. And if I go into groups, I can find groups about snow skiing. Now, actually, what I really want is I want skiing. I'm just going to go with the simple word skiing. So, but you see, the point is, I don't care what it is you do. Look, you're not going to believe me. Some of you might not believe me. This is funny. Underwater basket weaving. I don't care what it is you're interested in. This is a joke. This is actually a joke site, but it's out there. Looks like I can't spell. I left the R on. Underwater basket weaving. There is a group. Well, it looks like there it is. Underwater basket weaving. It's only got 2 members. That's not the one I was looking for. The one I was looking for is actually much, much bigger than that, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. The point is that anything you're looking for, it's out there somewhere, and you can go find it. So if you're interested in snow skiing, if you're a single parents, find groups that do what you are interested in, join those groups, and meet some people. So many of these kinds of groups are going to have, and I'm not in any of the single parents groups right now. Let me go back to the snow group, for example, just as an example. Snow, come on. I don't want the word skiing in there. I don't want the word snow in there. I want skiing. Okay, so I joined this group. So now all I have to do is go to the group. Now the group's going to have rules. If the group has rules, read the rules, because they will kick you out of the group. This is the official group page for a skiing community, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and read the rules. First thing you do. Second thing you do when you join a group is even before you join the group, you look at who the members are and decide whether it's a group you want to be in. Now, you look for the admins. I haven't friended the admins because I just actually joined this group last week. But what you would normally do is friend the admins, or at least one of them, if not all of them. Why is that? If you remember this old thing about if I send a message to you on Facebook and we're not connected, the message is probably going into something called your other folder, the spam folder or whatever. However, if we're connected with at least 1 degree of freedom, if you have one mutual friend, then the message goes to your inbox. The way to ensure that I can message virtually anybody in this group and have it go to their inbox is by being friends with the admins, because most of the people in the group are going to be friends with the admins. Not all of them, but many of them are. So we want to be friends with the admins. Now, let's look at MLM groups. And again, in the interest of time, we're going to go pretty quickly through this stuff. So I'm just sort of laying the groundwork for what we'll cover in depth. And again, as you can see, we can't do everything in one webinar. This is 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 training sessions. And it goes on because Facebook's always changing. You know, there's a group called MLM Baby Boomers. This is a great group, by the way. I suggest you join it, especially those of you who are in the same MLM I'm in, because those are the admins of this group. So MLM Baby Boomers. There it is. Again. Come on. You can do it. Facebook, it's all right. You can turn on now. There we go. So this group has 668 members. And interestingly enough, let me click on that. And I got 77 friends in this group. Now, this is an interesting group because it's got a foot in both worlds. This is a group that lets you put up product posts, but limits how many product posts you can put up. And I believe it's one a week. I'm not sure. We'd have to go read the instructions or the rules for the group. Once again, when you come to groups like this, friend the admin and just look and see if you got friends in the group. So what will happen here is, and here's, friends, other people with things in common, we got mutual friends. What will happen here is if I post in this group, if I go ahead and make a post, my friends are going to get a notification. See these little notifications up here? My friends get a notification that I posted in the group. Gets my name out in front of my friends. Because what you're wanting to do is build brand name recognition. Okay, let's go on to the real spam groups. Let me just do MLM, network marketing, MLM direct sales. Sounds like a real spam group to me. 64,333 members. Interestingly enough, 64,333 members. Interestingly enough, I have 303 friends in this group. There's Cynthia. Hello, Cynthia. So again, if I go put up a post in this group, and I do, my daily videos go up. There's Daisha, I don't know. But at any rate, I'm not going to scroll down here looking for a post of mine. That's irrelevant. But what you do with these groups is you come in and you can look at some of the stuff. You can decide, you can friend people. And I'm not suggesting that you use these groups as a primary way to build friends. What I'm suggesting is if you already have friends in these groups, then if you post into the group, then your friends are going to see a message that you posted. You also can go through the group and begin to find people and, interesting post. I don't know if he's serious or not, but I suppose one could send him a message and find out what direct sales company are you with. But you can use these groups. But this is a subject of a whole nother training and what you can really do to make these groups work for you. I want to go back to groups that you can't post links and other things in, such as the skiing group before, or let's see, four comments. Let's look at the chat. That's me. Okay. Karen, repeat names. I'm not sure what names that was. Awesome talk too. Yep. Okay. Any rate, let me go backwards here. We can go back and we can post and look in groups. Like I'm a scuba diver. Again, I don't care what you like to do. Couples Resort Scuba Diving Club. I don't care what you like to do. You can find groups that do it. And when you find these groups, this is where you want to go into the groups and you want to begin to make friends with people. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so, I can go down, for example, and I can look at a post like that and I can make a comment and I can ask him where he was diving. For example, I can go to this guy. Now, here's what I want to show you. If I'm sort of interested in, maybe I'm interested in this picture, Anthony Morris, he's an admin. Excuse me. I'm sort of interested in this picture, and I might want to learn more about Anthony Morris. So let me go open him in a new link. Now, the first thing is, who's Anthony Morris? Maybe that's Anthony, I don't know. But you see, if you're in business and you want to build friends, then what you want is you want a picture of you there. Now, I may ignore that here, and I might decide Anthony's a really good guy. I can look at the rest of what he's doing. He's obviously diving. Happy Friday. What I would do with him is, if I wanted to connect, is that I would do two things. One, I would send him a message telling him why I'm connecting. Two is I might come down here and comment on some of his posts, like and comment on his posts, so that he gets a message that I liked his post and I commented on it. And he'll see that message, and then he'll see that I friended him or sent a friend request. Now, most of the time, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you this in just a minute, most of the time what we're going to do is we're going to use follow buttons. We're going to use the follow feature. I'm trying to watch the chat too. Oh, okay. Names of people, look at their websites. Well, I mean, basically, Karen, anybody you could think of who's in the business. I think the names that I mentioned, I know I mentioned Ray Higdon. I know I mentioned Katie Stage, and Chris Schaus. Although I don't know, Chris, is your profile page clean these days? I haven't looked at it recently. Don't know. You don't have to answer. Basically, I mean, look at people that are in the business, that are leaders. Jelena Ostrowska, Kay Somji, Brian Finale, although he's going to be splattered. He's going to have MLSP splattered all over his page probably. And you know, I can't think of all the names off the top of my head, but it's not hard to find them. And if you need more help, let me know. Okay. So let's do another thing. Let's look at, let me go Ray Higdon. Does everybody know who Ray Higdon is? I hope so. Ray Higdon, probably one of the most well-known trainers in the business. So we can look at people, we can look at groups, and we can look at pages. Let's look at Ray Higdon pages. So here's Ray Higdon's 283,000 members. A lot of people. And what can we do on pages of people like Ray Higdon? We can find posts. When Ray Higdon posts, he gets a lot of response, 424 people responding, interacting with the post. 2,600 comments, 222 shares, 5,600 views. He gets a lot of interaction. But watch what I can do. If I go over here and click on it, left click, I get a list of all 424 of those people. Now, if it simply says message, that means I'm already a friend. How about finding some new friends? So what I can do is begin to look at people. Well, that's not a person. I can begin to look at people like James Rowley and see, I can follow James. Now, I know what I'm about to tell you takes time, but it's the best way to do it. It's not the only way. And I know some people who will teach you to just run down this list and follow everybody you can. But I'm not going to teach you to do that, because to me, that's a real waste. But what I can do is I can right click and open him in a new tab, and I can go look. Now, one objection you might have is, well, you're stealing Ray's friends. No, I'm networking. He's an entrepreneur, a motivator, an affiliate, a grinder, a hustler. I like him already. Okay, so what I might want to do, and I'm not going to do it right now in this training today. We are at the 1 hour mark. We're going to wrap this up real soon. I might just follow him. But before I follow him, I'm going to send him a message. And we got 3 mutual friends, so there's a good chance that he's going to get a message. There's 3 people there that we know each other. So if I send him a message, he's going to get it. So I'm going to follow him. And I'm going to tell him why I'm following him. I'll tell him, I saw you on Ray Higdon's page, and I like tell me something I like. I see you also like Gary Vaynerchuk. So we have a lot in common. I thought I'd follow you. And if you're so inclined, send me a friend request and I'll accept it. Okay, so I didn't send a friend request. I just said, I followed you. This is why. Yeah. We're going to start on Tuesday. Margaret, we're going to start on Tuesday. Okay, let me close that out. Now, I can go down. There's 424 people here. I ought to be able to find a few people that I can follow. And I'm not saying come out here and follow Ray Higdon's people every day. She doesn't have her follow button turned on. She doesn't have her follow button turned on. Look for people with her follow button turned on. There. She's got her follow button turned on. So now I might go take a look at her. Okay, so another person you can do this with, and you will find that you find enormous numbers of people, is go out and look at Tony Robbins. Pages, public figures, same deal. Look for Tony's posts, and then look for people that look like you have something in common with, and follow them if you can. Or if they look really, really intriguing, friend them. But again, I recommend using friends very, very gently. Okay, let's go home. Let's go to my home. The other person you can do this to is yourself. Imagine that. Here's a post from my friend Bailey Nielsen. Bailey runs, don't do that to me. Bailey runs a tanning salon, but not tanning beds. It's chemical tanning. It's what'd she call it? I forget what she calls it. Anyhow, chemical tanning. But I can look at who liked her stuff, but let me move on. Let me move on to my own stuff. If I put up a video here, let me look at my personal page, for my profile page. When I put up a video, be sure that if somebody comments, that you go back and you comment on everybody who commented on your video. I want to come down one more video, because these haven't been fully settled in yet. But so here's 48 views, 6 shares, 4 comments. Make sure you follow up by commenting back to the people that commented on your video, okay? Because that's how you increase Facebook's engagement. And you can also do the same thing on your news feed by finding posts on your news feed, like Tamara. There's a post from Tamara. And not much engagement on that one right now. There's Ryan Levisk, I'm not sure how he pronounces that, but I'm looking for one that has some engagement. Okay, 20 people engaged here. Is there anybody on this post that I'm not already a friend with? And yes, there are. So I can begin to look at these people and decide if I want to maybe friend some of them and tell them they showed up on my timeline. They were commenting on commenting on a post from Lexi, and now am I stealing Lexi's friends? No, we're networking. You're network marketers. You're networking. That's what you're doing. Okay. Let me look at. Okay. I think we basically, I'm going to come off this. I'm still on screen share, so I'm going to go back here. One of the questions that came up was when it's right now I'm planning for Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock Eastern, I believe. 6 o'clock Eastern. No, 8 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern for these sessions. But you know what? You got to, if you get registered, Facebook, that's it. If you get registered, lenmooney.com, wealthy aging. And when you get the video replay, either later today or tomorrow, you'll get the link too. But if you register, then you'll get all the information. I'm forming a new Facebook group for us. There's an email that'll go out that'll give you the information when we're doing the training and et cetera, et cetera. You'll get it all. So just go ahead and sign up, lenmooney.com/wealthy aging. Wealthy aging. Okay. So I'm looking at the comments. So, well, that's not too bad. An hour and 6 minutes. We could have gone longer. But I think you can see, when I first said in the group that I'm in that I was going to do this, it wasn't my intention to start a paid coaching program at that point, although it's something I've been thinking about for some time. And I've decided to go ahead and do it because I realized the number of questions that people were asking and the depth of the questions is such that we can't do it in one training. You simply cannot. So that's it. So I hope you will join me in the new coaching program, the Healthy, Wealthy, and Active Aging Society, because my mission is to help you get to 100 with wealth and health, and maybe even a little longer. Okay, so we're gonna build that wealth, we're gonna build that health, and we're gonna stay active, and that's what we're gonna do. Follow me. You know, I've had people tell me, I had people 30 years ago tell me they were too old to water ski. They just drive the boat. 30 years later, I'm still water skiing. They're all fat or dead. You got to take care of yourself. It's that simple. So we're gonna focus some energy on health as well. But we'll start off with covering all of these topics that we touched on today in more depth. And then it's your group, so you can guide where we go. And we'll work together on that. So Katie, thank you, Katie. What a nice compliment. Katie, coming from you, I really appreciate that, because you know your stuff. You are really a great trainer. And Chris, thanks, Chris. Cynthia, thank you. Margaret or Maggie, yeah, thank you. Putting your name up there as Margaret. I forgot what your name is. Chris, thanks for joining me today, Chris. And if nobody else has any questions, comments, or anything, I'll let you all go. Have a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Remember, there's only 25 shopping days till Christmas. Oh God, it's that time of year again. Well, one of the things we're going to do in this new coaching program is we are going to really work on our vision and our goals for next year and our plan. And I'm going to help you do that. So that's going to be a big part of what we do here in the next few weeks. All right, my friends, thank you for giving me part of your Saturday afternoon. I hope I gave you value for it. I hope you got extreme value in return. And we'll talk again real soon. Bye for now.